right. Well, okay. So like I said, I didn't read. That was the whole point of the last 20 minutes, was to tell you I didn't read. And so I didn't want to show up empty-handed. And so I've come with a list.
Ooh.
I'm going to share a list of books I'm calling Tech Gone Wrong. The idea of this list is these are literary fiction novels.
Oh, okay.
Where a female character is involved with tech.
Okay.
That causes a problem.
Okay. You saying all that just made me think of one book that I think you're definitely going to mention.
Okay, well, maybe I will.
Yeah.
Up first, I have Hard
That was the
Copy.
book.
Was it that one? Okay, yeah. By Fien Veldman, which is translated by Hester Veldman. Oh,
Whoa.
they have the same last name, but one of them has an S on the end. The other one
Oh.
doesn't. So most of the books on this list I have not read, but I noticed earlier that I was like, wait, I have a lot of these types of books. It's a really cool list. I'm going to put together this little listicle.
I'm excited. I'm into tech right now, so this is exciting.
So here it says, a customer service assistant spends her long workdays printing letters. Her one friend is the printer. And in the dark confines of her office, she begins to open up to him, talking about her fears, her past, her hopes and dreams. To her, it seems like a beautiful friendship is blossoming. To her boss, it seems like she's losing her mind. Diagnosed with burnout and placed on leave, she faces severance and, worse, separation from her beloved printer. But she's not about to give up on her only friend without a fight. And it turns out, neither is he.
Okay, that's hilarious.
That's so awesome. I gotta read this. It just
I'm so
sounds
curious,
so
like,
good.
what is up with that printer?
It sounds so good.
You know what's funny? Before we started recording, Ariel was turning on her printer, and you were like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's so loud. So it's kind of funny that maybe your printer was
actually,
going wrong.
You're totally right, actually.
Tech going wrong.
The next book that I have is Little Eyes by Samantha Schweblin, and this one is translated by Megan McDowell. You haven't read this one, right? But you have read Fever Dream?
I have read it. I actually have
Oh,
read
you
it.
have read
I
Little
listened to the
Eyes.
audiobook for that many years ago.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. This fits in to the theme, right?
Totally. It's very Black Mirror. It's very Black Mirror, that book.
Yes. So basically, I read the synopsis on the back to myself earlier, and I was like, that is deeply vague. I hate that. But basically, I looked up again, and so there's like some creature that's kind of like a Furby that has eyes that have cameras, and they become like very, very popular, and everyone starts having them in their house, and it's kind of a commentary on surveillance. Would you say that's semi-accurate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So this, again, sounds like tech gone wrong. It says the ugly side of our increasingly linked world creates a dark and complex world that's all the more harrowing for being so recognizable. Again, I was like, I don't want sci-fi that's set like on a different planet or like 200 years in the future. I was like, I want it to be set in the now, and yet it's a little disturbing.
And what's creepy about that one is that the people who are watching on the other end. So these little Furbies, it's like there's like a connection that's really creepy.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
All right. The next one that I have is We Had to Remove This Post by Hannah Bervowitz. And this one is translated by Emma Rout. Okay, wait a second. Hold on a second, Raylene. Now, isn't this one Dutch? Yes. Hannah Bervowitz is one of the most acclaimed Dutch writers of her generation, it says. Hard copy is from where? Aren't you Dutch as well?
I think maybe.
Oh, it doesn't say. I think the Dutch are scared of tech. This one I didn't like very much. But that's okay. It still like fits into this list, and I know other people, there are obviously other people who have really liked it. This one is very interesting because it's about a woman who's a content moderator. She starts working at a company where her job is basically to be the person who looks at posts that have been flagged. So, you know, when you like see a post that breaks terms and services of, say, Facebook, and you're like, oh, that shouldn't be. I flag it.
Yeah.
That then has to go to content moderation. And a lot of that is done by AI, but a lot of it still has to be done by humans. And so she's the person who has to look at all of this disturbing stuff and decide if it breaks terms or if it doesn't.
Spooky.
I felt like this was a little bit boring, and it wasn't, I didn't have the best plot. I just felt like it was a little meandering, but it was still a really interesting topic, and it's not exactly the same as the other ones. I want more ones that are like this, where it's like a physical item that's a piece of technology that's gone kind of awry somehow. But I do think this fits the vibe of tech in a person's life. All right, the next one, this is a book, this is a mashed potato book here. This is a book that I have been meaning to read for years, and I'm like annoyed that I haven't read it. It is Aesthetica by Ali Rowbottom. So if I read this the synopsis to you, at 19, Anna Ray was an Instagram celebrity. Now, at 35, she works behind... Wow, that's relatable. Sorry. She works behind the cosmetic counter at the Black and White store, that's in quotations, peddling anti-aging products to women seeking physical and spiritual transformation. She too is seeking rebirth. She's about to undergo the high-risk elective surgery Aesthetica, TM. A procedure that will reverse all her past plastic surgery procedures, returning her, she hopes, to a truer self, provided she survives the knife. So basically, it's about like this tech, this like new surgery thing. And I think there's something weird about the surgery and stuff.
That sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome. It sounds like a great exploration about like influencer culture and like this obsession we have with beauty and anti-aging, which I think is fascinating. Anti-aging is like a disturbing topic, actually.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating theme. Okay, the final book that I have on this list, you have to tell me if it counts or not. Okay. I don't know if it does. It is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin.
I would say it doesn't fit this specific list you've made, because it is about tech, but the tech doesn't go wrong. The friendships go wrong. It's just...
And so this is what I was thinking. I was like, is it the tech that drives them apart? Like, is it a commentary on how tech can drive us apart? Or do we think it fits or it doesn't fit? I don't know.
Think so. But I appreciate you bringing it to the table.
Right? So how would everyone let us know in the comments if you think that this book would fit into the rest of my list? Also, if you have a book, you know, obviously that I didn't mention here that you think really fits into the list. I really want more like the first two, where it's like a piece of physical technology, a Furby, a printer, a phone. I was trying to find like things like that were like physical items. Obviously, I was just bound by the books that I own. I wasn't buying new books for
this. I just thought of one that might work. Cell by Stephen King. I actually don't know exactly what that one's about, but I know it's something weird with a cell phone. I haven't read that one.
Cell by Stephen King. Let's see. An apocalyptic horror novelist. Ooh. Let's see. It's loading. It says, graphic artist Clay Riddell was in the heart of Boston on the brilliant autumn's afternoon when hell was unleashed. This is so King. Before his eyes. Without warning, carnage and chaos reigned. Ordinary people fell victim to the basest, most animalistic destruction, and the apocalypse began with the ring of a cell phone.
That's crazy. I mean, there's a reason I haven't read that one yet. That sounds crazy.
It sounds amazing. The virus was carried by every cellular phone operating in the world. Within hours, those receiving calls would be infected.
Ooh. Hey! Oh, so it's like a zombie apocalypse that's through that does sound like it fits this list, actually.
It also sounds pretty fun.
It does sound pretty fun, actually, you know?
473 pages?
That's a few too many, my guy.
Oh my god.
Although that is like a weird intersection of my interests right now. Like right now I'm really into robots, but I also really want to like read a zombie book for some reason. Like that's something that's been calling to me. So maybe that's just the thing.
Well, there you have it. That's my list for today. I'm excited to hear recommendations. And if you've read one of these that I haven't read, let me know what you thought of it. Should I like super prioritize it? They all sound really cool. And yeah, thanks for listening to that list.